fans, you do it for fame. EA Sports, we in the game. I am the coach and the player of the game. They gon' remember the name.
We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah.
Look in the mirror, how could you face that?
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Oakland Raiders.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Cleveland Browns and the Oakland Raiders. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. First carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Watch him now, Barney.
Mayfield now from the 50. And this one is incomplete. Landry the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them, because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield. He's got his tight end, Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Mayfield to throw it. That is caught. It's Perriman. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. He wanted that end zone. Powerful running, but he couldn't quite get there.
And that's going to really make him upset. And right now, there's no way he's letting a coach take him out of the game. He's going to want the ball again, so he actually does get into the end zone, hopefully on his next carry.
To throw, Mayfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Jarvis Landry, his first touchdown as a Cleveland Brown. And the Browns have taken the early lead. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
And one of the things that I think that Derek Carr has really improved in doing since college, his ability to stay in the pocket, things swirling around him, find the right guy, and deliver the ball with accuracy. Derek Carr has great touch when he throws the football.
And that's complete. It's the Carr to Cooper connection. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 6 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3-and-out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game would be ideal.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Mayfield now on second down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Mayfield gets it to Gordon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Mayfield on play action, and the Raiders have got him. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on fourth down to punt this thing. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And they'll go on the ground. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Play action. Now it's Carr. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. That's Njoku over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field on an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Second down, Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so in the second.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And, Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field.
And this is caught by Cooper for a Raider touchdown. Amari Cooper from 4 yards out, and the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Carlson now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
All right, here we go. Blue line. Blue line.
Now Mayfield. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Get down! You waiting? What's on?
On 3rd down, Carr. Cooper's got it. And he He's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. They convert on third with a gain of 22. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Now a play fake. Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. To the right side and complete to Njoku. Starting to rack up the yardage here in this first half. 5 catches now and a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gordon. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Throwing, Mayfield. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 30.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. That's complete. It's Gordon. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here.
Set. Green, 39.
Here we go with Johnson. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
Partner, you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 2nd down, here's Carr, and it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Get down. Get down. Let me do it.
From the gun, it's Carr. Wide open receiver, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Carr now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Now Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Amari Cooper, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Mayfield looks to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit but not go down and fumble the ball.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. Carl trying again on second down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Myles Garrett in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Carr now to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Bryant. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on.
But rush coming, and he's taken down. Myles Garrett in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Carr to throw on second down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Throwing his Carr on third down. He completes it to Bryant. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Get set. 180.
They run a draw here on second down. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a third and about 5. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the gun now on third down, Carr. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Give. This is Chubb. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
All right, here we go. Boom, 90.
First down, Mayfield. Pass incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Gone!
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Mayfield. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Khalil Mack able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
Detroit!
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. That's Njoku over the middle. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Fourth down, Mayfield. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. A first down carry here for Johnson. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Second down, Mayfield. Gets it to Gordon. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They come out here in the I. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And now running right through it. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now Mayfield. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. And that is going to be incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Raiders hang tough down near the goal line. So that's the 2nd time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is going to have the first down as he's up to his own 13-yard line. They get 9 there, and in the process escaping their end zone, picking up a first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
To throw on third down. Carr letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there. Carr to Cooper. 54 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Throwing on first down is Carr. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And they'll run it here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face a third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener. And it's a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and complete.
And it's a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Here's Carr. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a fourth down and short situation. I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the first down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
And the Browns getting set to go. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. To the right side and complete to Njoku. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Barthema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Down. Right
third down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now Landry. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one, but
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them,
oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Well, one of the few things that's gone right for them, likely a little too late, but maybe a little feather in their cap.
I think so, and to me, they played that play without looking at the scoreboard, without worrying about where they were in the score, because things haven't gone right, as you noted, for them much of this game, but they gave great effort there and picked up a defense that's had its share of troubles in this one.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup. Mayfield on 1st down. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Oh, there's that man again, it's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down. Mayfield to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, when plays like that work, It's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. On 3rd down, Carr. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And they'll go on the ground across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
Okay, didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to. He's got a man complete, and he makes it all the way down to the 31. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Raiders, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Standing, look in the mirror, how could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where waste at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry. What I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? It reply, how you put up with this song and dance, soulless buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me? Yamagini dream was a nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah. We all on the dance floor. Girl, come with a dance. Puerto Rican in the breathing heavy. Little had my looking daddy. Couldn't tell him nothing cause we lost him already. Cozy boy with his spaghetti. With the money and fame, the price come heavy.